It's a journey, y'all. It's called The Journey Within. That's what my friend said to me. She said,
Genius.
there's no greater journey than the journey within.
Hey Soul Tribe, what's good? What's good? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're feeling great. Hope you're wavy. It's been a minute since I've done a reading, and I always say I'm led, and for a while now I haven't actually felt like coming here, but just been like feeling a lot of things, going through a lot of emotions and stuff. A lot has happened since the last time I recorded a reading, but I very much felt like, okay, today is the day that I need to actually get some clarity on a lot of these downloads that I've been receiving. So just before this reading, I pretty much like asked Spirit a bunch of questions, and I have like a bunch of different cards. I think I've got like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different spreads here that I've just pulled out, and I kind of just looked at them, getting a vague idea of what it's all about, but I'm going to share that with you. So just to give context on where this is coming from, for some time now, I've actually been having dreams about, and actually not only dreams, but also like some of the tarot readers that I watch. It's a combination of messages about, firstly, some abundance coming in, like some kind of inheritance, home, just like, just a whole lot of goodness coming our way, right? And it's been held back by, people very close to us, specifically families and like immediate family, like somebody very close, like mother, father, brother, sister, but it's giving that type of a vibe. And this particular individual could have also worked with an extended family member. So it's like, for example, let's say like your mother is working with your aunt or your uncle, or like your mother and your sister are working together. So this is like a unified front to get in the way of the collective. So in some of the dreams, I would see myself. In some of the readings, I'm hearing the situation, of course, playing out in the way that that reader would describe it. But it's so interesting that like my soul kept like leading me to different messages from different readers, like people that I've never even heard from before. You know how like the algorithm just algorithms and stuff. And it's weird, like I'm just led to click on the readings that are pointing to the same message about, hey, there's a group that's been getting in your way, trying to like jack you and stop you from pursuing what you want to pursue. They've even blocked your money, your funds, they want your gifts, that type of a thing. And in between all of that, I've also been like noticing certain attacks that even I've received, and I'm also like acknowledging like, okay, because I'm also part of the collective, there's some part of the energy that I'm also feeling, and I'm also discerning to say, okay, what is actually my feeling, and is also what is a projection, because of me being like such an empathic person, like an empathic starseed, if you want to call it that, which is one of the versions of a starseed that I am. It's like I feel into the collective. I feel what other people are also processing and going through. And not only does that allow me to read for the collective, but then it also helps me like place what I'm feeling, you know what I mean? Or place the energy of like, oh, okay, we're going through like, oh, I just saw 333. We're going through like, let's say like a Mercury retrograde. What impact does it have on me individually, but like what's happening within the landscape, you know what I mean? So I definitely feel like no matter who you are, for you to have found yourself in this reading, I mean, I'm even just seeing how I've got the Fool here twice in reverse. They've got a number of cards that have actually repeated. I've got the Star here twice in the upright. I've got, Page of Wands here also 2 times, 1 upright, 1 in the reverse. It's crazy. Like, I don't know what I'm going to title this, but just know that this version of me right now is about to cook with Spirit and, of course, with this message. But the version of me who's like reviewed this has put a really nice title for you to like, come into this space. And if you do find yourself here, I trust that there's something for you, there's something for us. So, if I feel led to share more, I think it'll come through with the reading, but that's pretty much the gist of where this is coming from. So I feel like repeating it again, but at the same time I feel like you could just rewind, and maybe that's exactly what this energy also wanted us to do, kind of like stay in a loop, stay in a circle, put us in a place where we are kind of, double backing on some of our thoughts, our actions, our choices, not being sure, not being able to trust ourselves. And I kind of like take us out of our spiritual bag, our intuition and knowing and trusting and believing that like what I feel is what I feel, what I've always desired is what I've always desired, what I want is what I want. I'm even thinking now how I'm just like moving these little pieces of paper here. This was like let me actually just show you. It's like a bunch of little pieces of paper that I cut up because somebody in a spiritual group that I'm in had like mentioned like a certain ritual that you can do where like you like put your intentions on pieces of paper over like a couple of days. You pray on the last day, there'll be like one paper remaining, and that's like something for you to do. But anyways, something led me to like not actually following through with that. You could say ceremony or ritual, if you want to call it that. Because there's a part of me that's like now stepping into a greater level of trust where I know that like, you know what, like I'm him and my spirit team is my spirit team. I trust them so much and I believe in the intentions that I've set before that I know that they're going to materialize. I don't have to question, I don't have to doubt. And even right now in my mind's eye, I'm getting this image of like these two stones that I saw when I was in Japan where like they have another example is like these two dragons, right? But they pretty much have these stones there and you like make a wish or an intention and then you go up to these stones and you decide like whether you want to lift them up or not. And depending on how heavy the stone is, it's pretty much giving you an indication of the effort that it's going to take for you to achieve whatever wish that you thought about. And when I looked at these two stones and then again when I looked at the two dragons, so it was like two different places at the shrine, I thought to myself like, yo, I could go there and ask it no matter what I want. But the truth is, whatever's for me is for me. And no matter if it's hard or difficult, because it's for me, I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to go with this journey, this path that I've desired to go on and that my spirit team has also led me on, because it's a double mission, you know what I mean? Like we're not doing only things for ourselves, but there are other intentions that need to be like transmuted through us, which is, breaking generational curses, if you want to call it that, or generational choices, because it's different decisions for a different time and better choices happen in this better time, in this new paradigm. But that greater level of trust is, coming forward right now is to say like, I'm not now going to go and allow myself to, let's say, put further doubt into the things that I've always wanted for myself, 742, because I know that me and my spirit team have already aligned multiple times before. So for me to now keep writing my intentions like, yo, I want to achieve this, I want to be in this place, I want to feel this, I want to have this. It's like, yo, what about all the things that I've written already when I was, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even more than that, that I still desire and that I've still felt like I want to have or need to have, and have already been heard, have already been received. And how do I now become that greater vessel or conduit for that energy to actually be ushered in and come in, you know what I mean? And throughout all of that, even with these dreams and these attacks and these messages that I've been like just feeling and seeing in the collective and hearing as well. I mean, for a long time, my right ear was like going off. And it's like, it was blocked for sometimes. Sometimes it would feel hot and I'm just like, yo, what's going on? These are just like all of these different energies that I'm feeling in, attacks, evil eye, like projections, all of these different things. And of course, needing to discern. And something that also happens is that like, you would receive messages. I don't think this is just me. For me to even say that, I think whoever you are, you would receive messages about certain things that are there just to like test you and your posture and your level of discernment. So I'm thinking about two examples right now. One of them being like, if you are a garden, right? Not everyone can plant a seed in your garden. And I say that to say because, of course, we're going to be speaking about abundance and what we reap because of the seeds that we planted earlier. But then on the other side of that, it's to say like somebody might try to take you off your path or try to steer you off the direction that you're going on, and which is like touching back to this looping that I've been talking about, right? But then on the other side of that, flip, I was getting so many other downloads about exactly what I was saying, which is like kind of taking me off, right? Okay, bring me back, Spirit. Where was I? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, not being the garden, right? That people can just plant seeds on. Being able to discern. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, you know what? I feel like I need to stop this because I want to come back to this. Let me stop. I'll just join the videos. Hold up. Okay, I got it. So the one I was talking about, like, you being a garden and like receiving messages or signs of people trying to plant new thoughts, new ideas, trying to take you off your path, and how you're going to discern with that. So I use that as a matter of saying, like, your mind, your body, your spirit is the garden, and you would like hear something. So for example, one of the things that I heard recently, somebody was saying that like sage doesn't cleanse and clear. It's not a good incense or like plant to burn, right? Because of, oh my gosh, okay, I don't know what that was, but anyway, it's not like a plant to burn, because instead of it cleansing and clearing the space, it actually invites bad energy. So you see, something like that would like make you, let's say if you somebody who uses sage a lot, right, it would make you now start to question, like, oh my gosh, like, does sage actually work? Is sage something that I should be using? So if you've been doing something for so long that has worked for you, that has been cleansing and clearing your space, or been part of your spiritual practice, now somebody comes and introduces a new idea or topic to you to say, hey, when you actually burn sage, you are inviting these bad energies versus keeping them out. Now it kind of makes you like start to question or doubt yourself, right? That's one example. The second example is like where, you overcome something within your life that is something that you were battling with. Like, let's say it was like acceptance, which is the example that I'm thinking of now, or like self-love, being able to validate yourself, seeking validation outside of yourself. Maybe you were like self-sabotaging, you were procrastinating. So let's say you overcome that, and then someone presents a situation to you where you would default to that version of you that hadn't overcome that, and then now the universe wants to see if you respond in the same way. So I'll use myself as the example this time to say, like, there are some people that I work with that have created this narrative about who I am, and that's only based off the version that I know that they have the capacity to receive, or the version of myself that I decide to show them. So it's like person A gets to, let's say, experience my masculine, and person B gets to experience my feminine. But then person A and B speak to each other, and they like, yo, I know this version of him, and then this other person says, I know that version of him. And now when person A comes to you, or person B comes to you and says like, yeah, when I engage with you, me and you engage in this way. And it's so interesting that like other people, person A, they like talking about person A's experience or person B's experience, either one, switch it around, right? When this one person is telling you about the experience that the other person has, it's a matter of like, I could want to find out like, what did person A or what did person B say to you, because now I'm like so conscious of about like, oh, how is my energy being received out there? And now, because I've fully accepted or honed in on myself and my energy, I don't give a, you get me? Like, whether person A perceives me as an apple and person B perceives me as a pear, listen, I'm fruit. Listen, like, I'm here to bear the fruits because it's my energy, and I'm going to take a new shape. I'm going to take a new form, but they cannot deny that I'm here. I'm coming with the sweetness. You get me, gang? Like, I'm coming through ripe. But anyway, I'm using that just to say that like a version of me could have easily defaulted to seeking validation, to asking like, oh my gosh, like, I know I'm good with person A or I'm good with person B, but what do other people think about me? And that version of me that used to care about what other people thought is no longer present at this time, And it even reminds me of just how I actually got to this point of like, me being worried about how I'm seen, how I'm perceived, and looking for that validation outside of myself. But now getting to a point where I'm just like, actually, you know what? Fuck this, bro. Like, I'm me, and I understand that there are some people who will have a capacity for all of me, some will have for less of me, but it doesn't affect how I receive me, because I'm me all the time, and I receive myself in all of me. You get me? So, just to bring this back to where I was like kind of leading from, is to say a greater level of trust is being asked of us, even as we are presented with new pieces of information, not only about where we are, but where we're going, and also what we've overcome, because we don't need to even like heal from the same things anymore or go through the same cycles anymore, because we are in a position where we need to take point. We need to take stage. What do you want to say, Spirit? Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Wow, wow. And the Spirit was like, split the deck one time. Show them what this is. Show them what this is. Look at that. What is it? Oshun of the Dawn. Oshun of the Dawn. And right there at the bottom it says new beginnings. Like how dope is that? And it's crazy because that's exactly what this is. It says new beginnings, hope, and a fresh start. And I'm just thinking about how, every ending is a beginning and every beginning is also an ending. So it just ties in so nicely with this message. And I think it's exactly why Spirit like led me to like looking at it, and it's like saying, yo, cut the deck. Let's actually just put some fullness or like overarching message to what's actually happening right here. We've evolved. We are new people. We are different people. There are people that we've left behind, which we're going to talk about. And there's a version of ourselves now that we need to honor and ultimately step into, embody, hone in on fully, unapologetically, unencumbered as well. That's the word that was coming to me. Oh, wow. Spirit's saying, check out the back as well. Number 7, that might also be very relevant to you. I did see a bunch of 7 cards as well there. And here it's saying, Oshun's honeypot, sacred pleasure, sensuality, self-love. Interestingly, when I did a deck interview with this deck is called Faces of Oshun by Biola Abrams. And one of the questions I asked to this deck was like, what is the potential relationship or outcome? Sorry, what is the potential outcome of, working with this deck? And this is one of the cards that came out. So in this new era, right, in this new beginning, we are now learning to love ourselves and, enjoy the pleasures, the fruits of our labor. Because, I'm even describing myself as the fruit, because you are the result. Like, can you believe that? That the change that you want to see, the change that you want to experience, granted it starts in your mind, but as soon as you are that energy, you live that energy, then you stop looking outside of yourself for what's going to happen. Because even people around you just like, yo, dude, you're so happy now all the time, like, oh, what happened? And I was like, you know what, like I am generally a positive person, but like now I'm just like choosing happiness all the time. You feel me? Oh, I see there was like another card that just like popped out here a little bit, and it says Oshun of the Dusk, cycles, transition, and closure. Oh, goodness gracious. Yo, we coming through with the channel messages first before these cards, right? But look, we had to leave behind that old version, that old story, that old way of being, doing, and thinking. Like, we can't bring those old habits, behaviors into this new version game, into this new cycle. Because, like, why? How can you, what's that saying by Einstein, like, repeating the same thing and expecting different results is like a form of insanity or something? Like, what? Like, make it make sense, gang. Like, fuck that. I'm not about to go and repeat the same things and repeat the same cycles. Because, I mean, look at that. New beginning, hope, fresh start. And I mean, she's like holding these things up like she's like the master of the universe. I mean, she's like holding these things up, like controlling this, like balls. It's like, you know what I mean? I'm getting this image of like, when like Naruto also has like mastered his sage state, and like all those like chakra balls are like around him and stuff, which is what I'm also getting over here. So it's like you've gotten into a new state, like you in a new like paradigm, a new zone. Like, this is a whole new version of you, this version of you that can even like master objects, like master your reality. So it's like, you know what? We're in the golden era, gang. And like, I remember the last couple of readings that I posted were definitely all about that. I mean, just even the back of these cards, like me even being drawn to them. I mean, it's like it's a bee, it's honey, it's pleasure, it's, it's all these things that Oshun is like representative of, which is very much love, love in its pleasurable sense, but also like a tough love, because we're gonna clock some of these messages here and see that like, yo, there's like the light side of love and there's also a shadow side of love, but love is still love, high vibration, high frequency, and that's where we remain. That's where we remain. Anyways, I think it's a good time to get into this reading, gang, and thank you for still being here with me thus far. Let's cook. You are here with Papa Jeezy, G3E, God's third eye himself. Welcome to Roots Holistic, yeah? This is the channel where we take the journey within, we dive deep, and we transform, you know what I mean? We really take heed and like point a mirror at ourselves and into ourselves to uncover, to discover. And interestingly, that's what Oshun does as well. I don't doubt or question why this deck was like brought, like, or calling me, and here I am. I've brought it into this reading. So not only is it bringing an energy of love, but illumination and sensation. I'm also seeing the peacock feathers here, so it's definitely something about birds as well, but definitely the peacock. So a bunch of colors. You might be multifaceted. You might also be very much a creative person. Not only do I relate with that, but I feel like with me even speaking to the mastery, like we are the creators of our experience, creators of our world, creators of what these avatars get to experience, right? And a reminder that we are spirits having this human experience. So when we go within with these mirrors to discover, to uncover, what is it that we see, and what is it that we also want to see, and what is it that we don't want to see anymore, because we are in the position to like conjure that, create that, manifest that, if you want to, however you want to look at it. So there was something that I was thinking about there, but it's gonna come through if it needs to, yeah. So anyways, let me actually start with these cards, because these ones here fell out first. And I was asking my spirit, like, yo, why are these messages like coming through in the collective, about attacks, about this new abundance, this new era, about people just being affected by our growth, our expansion. You might have also gone through something like life-changing, in a sense of like you're no longer with the same people, you no longer work at the same place, you've moved, not only physically, but you've moved emotionally, mentally, like you've like separated yourself from people, places, and situations. You might have gone through a breakup, a separation, and also separation leading to elevation. So you've like leveled up in a certain area of your life, or you are currently going through that, where you are now like in a place where you are thinking about writing down your plans, your dreams, your goals. And it's like, for example, like with these planetary changes, like let's say it's like Mercury in retrograde type of a thing, and you might feel a bit of stagnation, but you're also realizing like, oh damn, this is an opportunity for me to like go back to the drawing board and ultimately like come up with a plan as to how you start moving once the energy is no longer feeling so like heavy. And you might also have been going through things within you, like feeling pains, feeling certain aches in certain parts of your body. Some, of course, leading you to listen to what your body's saying in terms of like slowing down, resting, meditating, changing your diet, healing, even how you think to yourself, because you are now starting to realize that your mind is so powerful that even when these different attacks and things are happening, you sticking to your path or sticking to what it is that you're going through is what's actually like holding you. It's like you're in like a chrysalis, it's like you've been held in like this little force field or vessel that not only you have created for yourself, like a little force field, but like your guides are like nurturing you and protecting you and like almost covering you, making sure like our chosen one stays protected. It's like your boundaries are even not only honoring you, but they are blocking people, and it even like starts to get to them like, oh my gosh, like, I can't speak to G, I can't speak to the collective anymore, and I used to have this level of access before, like what is this, what's going on, and I just realized that rhyme. But anyway, this part of it is like with me asking spirit, like, okay, so these cards just fell out, right? And the first card we have here is the King of Swords in the upright. We have the Seven of Wands in the reverse, the Seven of Swords in the reverse, and we also have the Six of Cups in reverse, right? And with me just thinking about that, the first thing that came through was the number sevens, because I saw the sevens in the middle, and these are being presented, of course, as four cards, one upright and the other three in reverse. So it's like, again, how do we get into your mind? How do we start affecting how you see yourself, how you think, how you conduct yourself, ultimately even your decision making power? And again, with me saying ultimately, it's like the King of Wands, like, oh gosh, King of Wands. It's like, yo, it's King of Swords, but for me to say King of Wands, no mistakes, right? It's like we are gonna even try to like flip these things around, like how you see things, how you interpret things. You might just think that the issue is how you express yourself, but the issue is how you're thinking about it. You get what I mean? It's like you trying to be the most like, oh goodness, I'm even itchy right now on my feet. Like you're trying to take steps forward, but like they want to affect how you're thinking so that you can walk in the wrong direction. Because I was speaking about you being steered off your path, but then also the type of thing of like, I'm seeing a treadmill where it's like you're walking, but you're not actually really doing anything. So it's like they try to take you out of your King of Wands energy or King of Swords energy by making you think that you're in a King of Wands energy. It's like, now I'm strong, I'm powerful, I got my sacral intact, I got all this energy to give. But they're actually trying to take you out of that and not make you see that this is all in your mind. This is all an energy for you to work with. Because like, granted, on this journey, we realize that we are light beings and also dark beings, because we need to balance both sides, right? Because even in like creation stories, let's say they'll say at the beginning, they said, God said, let there be light. Before that, what happened before that? It was dark, bruh. So we need to go from dark to light. And for me, that is the progression, or the example of progression, because some people start in the light and they go to the dark, or dark to light. But either way, what I'm trying to get to is to say, like, there is some transition that's meant to take place. And that is where you learn these polarities, these dichotomies, and then you choose, okay, do I want to stay in the dark? Do I want to stay in the light? Or do I want to balance these things? I find for myself that it's best to stay balanced, because there are some things about the dark that we might not necessarily appreciate, but we learn about them. Like negative people, you might not want to have them in your life, but then don't they teach you about how to protect your energy? So why not be thankful for them? But then also the light makes you now enjoy, like, oh wow, now I've got actually friends and family that I can actually grow, build, and evolve with, because now I know that I don't want to be around people who are negative. So you see what I'm saying is that, like, just you changing your thoughts, changing your mind as to how you view dark and light, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, yin, yang. You get me? Just the polarities of things, left, right, up, down. You just understanding, or having this greater understanding of what is actually happening to you and why it's happening, seeing that silver lining, I'm even thinking about the clouds over there, that now ultimately change your whole perspective on, like, oh wow, that's why I'm going through this, you know what I mean? And Spirit's like, oh, why are you going through that? Because look at this. There were some things, of course, we were talking about boundaries, and here I am looking at this guy like, shielding. But it's like, with me seeing it in the reverse, one way you could take it is like, you needed to let your guard down. Understand like what needed to come through and what you needed to like also keep away. So in both ways. But then also it's like not gaslight yourself, because imagine it's like all of these different signs and messages and, opportunities for you to express yourself, for you to like be this great magician, for you to kind of like put yourself out there and like actually reap the fruits of your labors. Like imagine you planted all those seeds, like in that garden example I was talking about, and these are all your different seeds that are sprouting, all your different like manifestations or blessings coming through. And then because you are now stuck in this one way of thinking that like, nah, I can't do this. Like even for me to even be blocked, it's like I can't speak. Like why? Oh hell no, we are not gonna do that. Oh heaven no, like again, heaven, hell, like you get what I'm saying? It's like you are now not going to let whatever was plaguing your mind be the reason that you don't open up or live from your heart. Because I mean, this guy is dressed in green, or this character, male, female, take it however you are. But it's like 1913. You're not going to now let anything that is trying to come at you stop you from acting from your heart. So you realize that like you actually need to release a lot of these energies, release a lot of these attacks, these projections. And I'm seeing the green in this card, and I'm even seeing one of the oracles that I pulled to help expand on this message. And here it is, speaking about envy, jealousy, self-doubt, inadequacy, because it's like these energies could, I'm just feeling all these shivers right now. These energies could be coming at you to make you feel like, you know what, even though you've planted all these seeds and all these things that you desire, it's like the things that you want you as well. And here they are, they coming at you, but it's good thing coming at you. But because there's so many or so much abundance and blessings coming at you, and it's coming at you quick and fast, you might now start to feel like, oh my gosh, am I really gonna do this? Is this all for me? And it might make you even like start to fear your power, or fear the anointing, the blessing, the magnitude of your essence and your presence and what you've been chosen and selected to do. You feel me? But it's like you're not gonna allow that anymore. And it's like this is now actually, wow, here's a new meaning for this card coming through. Goodness gracious. It's like this is actually not fearing your power. This is being able to release the idea that you had about how to actually use your power. And it's like here this person was like kind of keeping to themselves and like on this hill and like, nah, leave me alone. But it's like, nah, fuck that. I'm actually gonna let this out because I realize that it's safe to be powerful. It's okay to be powerful. Woo, my boy. What? And yo, how beautiful that this message transitions from this card to this card over here, right? 7 to 7, again, 7 being a completion number. And did we not get 7 as well with the pleasure, which is what we needed, this self-love? Because that would be the opposite of self-doubt, right? Self-doubt, now we can see that it's messed up. It's not so cool because it makes us question ourselves and procrastinate. But if self-doubt was the dark side, the light side is self-love, to say, you know what, for the mere fact that I was questioning it means that it's actually important, or I need to approach it differently because I need to honor it, I need to respect it, I need to love this thing, right? And then here we are. Okay, Spirit's saying pull something over here. Oh, okay, I'm seeing, I just split the deck on this side, and it's and it's the Judgment in reverse. It's like, yo, you know what? It's like, for me even to see the Judgment in this deck, which is the Third Eye Tarot deck. I mean, look at that, like third eye just all up in there, right? It's like you're not now gonna gaslight yourself from these visions, the things that you saw. So it's like, granted, having a lack of judgment, a lack of discernment, it's like you even questioning the things that you've been given, the dreams like that led me to this, the signs, the messages, the synchronicities, wherever your third eye opened up to, and you started to see like, in these intuitive hits that you've been getting, and you start to think like, really, I deserve that? Or that's how powerful I can be, or how powerful I am? So why not step into that version, But then why they did that is because like now they're trying to, like, you see with me even saying it transitions from this one, it's like instead of stepping into that complete whole mastery version of you, they try to make you think that like you don't have the tools, you don't have the ability or capability to actually like bring this into fruition or to enact on those visions that you were given. And now they start to make you question it, because here it is, judgment, right? And this is like trickery, this is illusions, because this person is like running away with all these swords, thinking like, I got this. Whatever they thought they were going to use against me, that saying about no weapon formed against me shall prosper and so on. Or I don't know, weapons formed against me, whatever, they won't work and all of that. The guy 233 there, just post that verse if you know what I'm talking about. But it's like, you know what? Instead of a weapon forming, I'm going to be transforming. Like, what? You feel me? It's like, nah, whatever trickery, whatever like they try to like position or pose, like, project it towards you or against you. You just need to realize like, oh man, like I'm not as weak as you guys once thought, because I'm even seeing like people who are like plotting against you and having this idea of who you are, but then because of all the growth and elevation and expansion that you've been doing in this cocoon, in this chrysalis, that like now you are even beyond those projections, beyond those tactics or traps that they once had or tried to get things up for you. And look, my TV just switched on and it's like, before it said have a cozy evening, and right now it's saying great job wrapping things up today. And it's like, that's what we do, like a great job. These people are being packed up, they wrapping themselves up. But it's also like, what a great way to like end our day, to connect with spirit, to connect ourselves. But whenever you find yourself in this place or in this space, like, you know what, you're doing a great job and you are wrapping things up, which is you being present and also gifting yourself being present in your presence. You feel me? Like, how do you even take the moment, take that chance? You are today, because great job wrapping things up today, like in this moment right now. You take your power right now, and they wanted you to think or believe like, nah, you're not powerful, you don't have that, but then you realize that you needed to release it, and of course it being something in your mind. And how they achieved this, gang, is by playing on these, I would say, your triggers, the notions and ideas of who you were in your past, how you grew up. I'm even getting that like you have actually been almost like attacked, or what can I say, like brainwashed, mind controlled, or led to like believe certain ways of life or being or doing for a certain amount of time. And it's like they now recognize that, like, you know what, because this could even be your blessing. This could be exactly what I was talking about, like your rap, right? Your present. So it's like, because this is exactly what's happening here. This one character, this one child is giving the other child, this cup that's got this flower and, all of these fruits, if you want to look at it like that, inside. But it's like, nah, we're going to hold you back from your gift, from your fruits, from the things that you are actually needing to fulfill and pursue from your past, by like continually like giving you certain messages or pulling at you, triggering you into different, I'm seeing right here, into tears, into like taking you out of your healing, but by like withholding you from your own gifts. Because look at these things. These are multiple different gifts, because all of these cups have the exact same thing that is being given to them. So it's like you could have like been held back from the gifts that, oh, my crown is like going off right now. You could have been held back from the gifts that not only did you uncover or discover within yourself, but even the ones that like your inheritance, like that was supposed to be given to you or passed down to you, but even things that your spirit team wanted to give to you because they saw the elevation and expansion that you went through. Because I am, yo, goodness, all these downloads coming through at the same time. I believe that, everybody has a gift. Everybody's got gifts, right? And you can harness or master your gift, but because of who you are and the choices that you make, you can be given even more gifts, given even more power, because of how the universe trusts and believes in you to administer and like use that gift. You know what I mean? Like be the steward of that gift and better look after it. I can give you an example of like how I have clairaudience, and I would say at first my clairaudience was at like, I don't know, level 3. And then now it's at a greater level, let's say level 8, 9, 10, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to put a cap onto it, but it's just at a greater level. And for me to even say 8, 9, 10, it continues to grow, it continues to expand. And now my clairaudience is at a higher, greater level where, granted, it was always there, but now the gift has evolved and expanded. But with me having now gotten to that point of mastering clairaudience, now it brings up another clairsentience now, where I'm now able to feel more. And lately, I don't know what this clair is, but like I'm able to smell and taste things that I wouldn't actually have been able to like tap into. Well, we can all smell, we can all taste, but I'm in a place where that smell, that taste is not there, but it's coming through, you know what I mean? And it happens in a reading when I remember it happening when I was like doing something for one of my clients, where like I literally started to smell like all these different fragrances and perfumes and stuff. And they even confirmed it, like, yeah, no, I love, like, burning oils, incenses, and different things like that. And I'm just thinking, like, what? Like, why am I smelling this sweet cinnamon type of a thing? And you get what I mean? And it's like spirit knows that, like, oh, this guy, he's listening. You know what? Because he's like in a position to help other people, we're gonna like boost that, and we're gonna give him something else. So I'm using myself as an example to say, like, you have a gift, and you mastering your gift means that even other gifts get given to you. But this group came through and attacked that. And the whole reason why they give you this gift is because you are this person who's healing, right? Because it started off with this envy. Because I asked for it, like, yo, what's crowning this part of the message? What's actually happening here with this group, and why are they coming at you? Oh, I'm even thinking now we need to split up this reading into 3 parts. So granted, I'm going to merge this video with the previous one, but I'm going to pause this and then, like, split this reading up into 3 parts. I'm going to call this part 1. But it's like, yo, you are this healing sage, right? Because of all of these different things that you were doing, these negative, dark experiences, they are only pushing you into healing, pushing you into like questioning and realizing, like, oh wow, look at that rainbow that I'm seeing across the goodness gracious, man, I just saw a rainbow like across the screen. And look at this, there it goes with another message on the screen. You did well today. You know what, whoever you are, like, you are busting right now. Let me tell you something. See yourself, love yourself, get yourself some cake, man, make a wish or something, like. But listen, you are healing, right? Restoration, compassion, the wounded healer. And it says healing sage. Oh, and there I was talking about sage and how people are like viewing sage as like something that's bad, but then it's your perception or your perspective on sage that ultimately changes your view on it and how you work with it, right? But like, oh, sorry, confirmation bell. Hey, again. Oh, goodness. Damn, I even forgot about my tea. Because we're getting the tea. We're getting the truth. I'm seeing 55 here, and what's that number I'm seeing also again? 666, but it's also like 999 if you look at it the other way, because it's like UV protection. I'm seeing this on my umbrella. But anyway, and 14, which is 7 plus 7 2 times. Oh, a bunch of numbers, synchronicities just came through over there. But like, yo, you having experienced this jealousy, self-doubt, inadequacy was what they were projecting at you, and kind of again working through your mind, trying to like get at you how you see yourself, how you perceive the world, because it's ultimately this view or perception of yourself that was attacked or projected, and you now seeking answers outside of yourself or validation outside of yourself constantly made you believe that those seeds that they were planting in your garden were actually you. But now you get to a point where you start to, like even in this card, you can see how there's a mirror and she's looking at herself, and there's a reflection back at her. It's like, do you like what you see? You're not a garden that everyone can just plant a seed in, like what? Like, no ways, you're not a garden that everybody just has access to. I'm even thinking about like the card in the, what is this? Energy Oracle cards deck. It's called Garden and the Gate. It's like the garden has a gate. You have a boundary to what people can come in with, the energies that can come into your garden. But like you realizing that like the answers that you seek, again, my leg is, oh my thigh this time is so itchy, goodness gracious. Oh, I'm even thinking now, it's like you might have, because this place where I'm itching is like a tattoo that I got. And I'm thinking now about like how you seeking validation within like another person, right? Or again, like thinking that like a tattoo, that some things were permanent and they were not actually that way, or that the validation that you once thought you were gonna get out of someone you didn't get, and realizing you needed to give it to yourself. And interestingly how, even in this card, I'm seeing a older person and a younger person, and it's actually reminding me of this card exactly over here. It's like this older version of you now gets a chance to honor the younger version of you, because now you've healed not only the things that this older version is experiencing, but what the younger version is experiencing. And then this card here, of course, is speaking to what was being gifted or what is being given. And look at this, even in this card, they are exchanging something, right? Because there she is with that calabash, and like, I don't know, there's something in there. But look at this. This is a giving of self. But this very tattoo that I'm also scratching is a phoenix. So it's like your healing meant that, you know, a part of you had to be let go of so that another part of you can exist. Some things have to be unalived so that the other parts can be alive. You get what I'm saying? And why they project this towards you is, you know, to kind of get you in this thought loop, right? To be trapped. But then you healing that, you becoming the wounded healer, you know, having this compassion, this restoration, means that you've now overcome that. You realize that those were the trials and the tribulations, that all of these things only pushed you further into this greater version that you are and that you need to become, and or that you are becoming, right? And now you get to even honor, love, appreciate yourself. And again, we were talking about the mirrors and just how that allowed you to see and discover and uncover, because we're on the journey within. We're on roots holistic, you know what I mean? Getting the soul medicine. And here again, we got another card with a 7, Oshun's Tears, 27, grief, loss, and heartbreak. So it's like, you know, from 14 2 7s added together, and now you had to like separate those things. So put them aside, put the dark and the light, and observe them, and like, oh, I identify with this part here, with this part here. And look at these tears. These tears is that release. It's that letting go, stepping into your power, and not even looking at your tears as like, oh, that means you're weak. But a tear meaning like, yo, I am the ocean, or my contributions to this great expansion is needed. It's necessary. I'm also thinking about how Oshun is very much for the, like, a god who, or deity, or what's this thing, a spirit, right? Let's just put it that way. There's another word that this deck uses. I'm not sure what that word is right now. But anyway, let's just say an energy or a spirit that you can find in fresh waters like rivers and lakes, right? And here it is where your tears or your experiences, your growth and elevation, you allowing those experiences to be transmuted, not necessarily kept within you, but now existing outside of you, can be this fresh water. They can now be refreshed because you're going through this restoration. So it's like renew, recover, restore. You get what I mean? It's like revive ultimately, because of that younger version and older version, or that past version, current version, or current version, future version. And again, that reminder with me even seeing all these messages on the screen about today, good job today, great job rapping today, because it's the present. This moment right now is the moment that you're in, and this is the moment to be in the waters, right? To be in this flow, and realizing that, like, you know what, you needed to let go of something so that you can step into new things. Because when you let go of something, you release it, that space that was once occupied is now open for something new, something greater, something better to come in. And there's a few readings ago where I actually been speaking about like being able to hold the space, because the longer you hold the space and like honor it, cultivate it, protect it like a garden, you're allowing what you had once planted there before to reap, to grow, to harvest. And you know, at the back of this card, I'm even seeing this vulture. And a vulture is a big bird, and I'm even thinking, is it the vulture or the raven that has guts to go at the eagle? And it's like, you know what, the vulture even goes for things that are like carcasses, you know, like things that are unalived. So it's like you are letting go, like you see the vultures even behind. It's like you let that old story, that old version, that old way of being be eaten up by these people who are coming at you, because that's exactly what I was speaking to, right? Because they were plotting and scheming on your older version, your older moves, your older tactics, but now you have transmuted that, and now you in this new medium, you in this new space, allowing you to now act and perform differently, courageously, lovingly. I think we're gonna leave it right here, 38, and let's be great. But yeah, let's see where the next part of this is gonna go. But yes, this is definitely the first part of this reading. I think, there's so much that Spirit wants to say. I'm gonna just take a young short break, and then we're gonna just now tap into the other part of it. I don't know if it's gonna be 2 or 3 more parts, but Let's cook. Much love, much light. Thank you for being here. And if you just feel like this part is your part, great. But if you want to join in on the other parts, that's great too. But anyway, again, 38. Let's be great. Peace, gang. Yay, yay.